Pranam Swamiji. Namaste to everyone. We at Advaita Academy welcome you all to this 1 month long Oneness Festival, a global celebration of Adi Shankaracharya ji. In this session, we have a live talk by Swami Bodhananda ji on Vaakya Vrutti, followed by a question answer session. After that, we have a video on Shankaracharya, his life and message by Swami Tattvamayananda ji. For the new attendees, we have 4 different sessions every day in the morning at 6 a.m. IST and in the evening at 6:30 p.m. IST. We also have extra music sessions on the weekends. Please join us for all of them. Swami Bodhananda ji is the Paramacharya of Sambodh institutions in India and USA. In Michigan, he heads the Sambodh Center for Human Excellence. He teaches Advaita Vedanta, Yoga Sutras, Bhagavad Gita, Upanishads, and other texts of Vedanta. In India, there are 12 Sambodh institutions dedicated for the social and educational empowerment of underprivileged children and women. Swamiji's management lectures are much sought after, having authored the first ever book on Indian management, Gita and Management, way back in 1994. He is also the author of several other books. For more information, please visit sambodh.org, that is SAMBODH.org, or sambodh.us. Questions and comments in the chat box below, and Swamiji and I will take them at the end of Swamiji's discourse. I humbly welcome Swamiji to please present his discourse on Vaakya.
Thank you, Kavita, for that introduction. And namaste to all of you, those who are listening to this lecture. Namaste, Hari Om. And we are now going through difficult times. You all are homebound, practicing social isolation, physical distance, working from home. So these days we are living in the internet space, virtual space, as they say. And this puts a lot of stress on us because we are not used to be alone, confront ourselves, reflect. We all are busy people all the time out in the world. So this forced quarantine or forced imprisonment, I should say that, has put a lot of psychological stress on us. But from the Indian wisdom tradition, I would say this is an opportunity. Those who follow the Indian wisdom tradition or the Hindu philosophical attitude to life, this can be seen as an opportunity, not a calamity. An opportunity to go within, deep within, and discover our true home. Our true home is that boundless consciousness, which has no bottom, no top, no boundary. That boundless, blissful consciousness is our true home. But we are not trained to live there. As in the Upanishad says, Paranchigani vaduna swayambhu, tasmat parang pashyadinandara. We are all extroverted people. We believe only in what we see. We are not able to see the seer behind the scenery. When we see the seer behind the scenery, whether we are out in the world or we are alone, yogaradova, bhogaradova, sangaradova, sangavihinaha, yasya brahmani ramade jittam nandadi nandadi. Whether you are out in the world or are within yourself or you are homebound, your joy, your identity, your creativity is not affected. So I would say this is an opportunity for all of us to take stock of our life, the life that we have led so far, and look into the future with a new set of eyes, wisdom. And the Advaita will help you to discover your full potential. So once you discover your full potential, then out in the world, without expecting anything from the world, you will be able to contribute into the world. So that's the meaning of Advaita, oneness. Oneness has been the central message of Hinduism. And there are many mantras from the Vedas, which I can quote, which advocate this oneness. Egam sat vipra bahuda vadandi agninim yamam madarishvanam. Truth is one, but people experience it differently. And all our experiences essentially are the same experience. Though we put different words, different names to that experience. Again, it is said, Vajaharambanam vikaro namadheyam mrittigatyeva satyam. There is only one truth, but we look at the truth from different standpoints, different perspectives, and then we give it a different name. You take different snapshots of the truth and put it out there. Again, Vasudeva Kudumbagam, that famous quote, Vasudeva Kudumbagam, the world is one family. Ano Bhadra Kradavo Yandu Vishwataha. Let noble thoughts come from all sides. These are some of the very beautiful statements. And the Purusha Sukta in the Veda, Rig Veda, say the whole world is one person. One integral organism, not a machine. So all these ideas which we find in the Vedas or the four Vedas, and the Adharvana Veda talks about the Indrajal. The world is a network of relationships. Indrajal. Unique entities interacting with each other create this harmonious world experience, which is called the rhythm. Rhythm vadishyami, satyam vadishyami. So this idea of oneness was there from the very beginning of the Hindu thought. The whole universe is one fabric, and we all are strands in that fabric. And this idea was picked up by Shankaracharya, and he developed that idea philosophically. More than a deep experience, he put this idea into words, into philosophy, logic. And he developed this wonderful idea. It's called Advaita Vedanta. It was Shankaracharya who defined the Hinduism that we know today. The present day Hinduism owes a lot to the vision and the hard work of Shankaracharya. He not only commented upon the text, he decided, determined which are the most important texts which the Hinduism has to be which Hinduism has to consider as the fundamental text. Because Shabdajalam Maharani, we have many texts, many books. Of that, he has selected these three. An Upanishad, 700 slokas of Bhagavad Gita, and 555 sutras, Brahma Sutra. These are the three pillars of modern Hinduism. Not only has selected that text, he interpreted them. He interpreted them so that we understand. Because if we go to the Vedic text, they become a little difficult for understanding. So Shankaracharya simplified Hinduism and rationalized the Hinduism, determined how many deities have to be worshipped, Shanmata Stapakaha, and established this format. All those things Shankaracharya did. But he has this unique ability of explaining in detail and condensing in one sentence. As it is ardhasrogena pravashyami. Yaduktam karma grandhagodi bihi. Brahma satyam jagad mithya. Jivo brahmeva navara. In a very condensed form. Those he has written voluminous text. All these is condemned in one, condensed in one half a sentence. Brahma satyam jagad mithya. Jivo brahmeva navara. So the vision is the visible world, which is made up of relationships, which has a location and a temporality, which obeys the cause and effect relationships, and which is ever changing. Drishta nashta pranashta bhranti bhudeshu. This visible world has an invisible substratum, meaning matter has a substratum, and the substratum is identified as consciousness. So the material world is a flowering of that consciousness. That was his vision. So thus the matter and consciousness integrate. They are not two, they are one. And the primary principle is pure consciousness. He says the world shines in consciousness. Chidvalasam, he said. The world, like waves that appear in the ocean, the world appears and disappears and coils and collapses and all that in consciousness. So the consciousness is the primary, and its flowering is the material world. So matter, as we already know, matter is that which doesn't matter anyway. Because as you keep on deconstructing matter, molecules and atoms and protons and neutrons and quasars and all that, and finally they say it is a field of infinite potentialities. This was discovered by Shankara and our ancient rishis long, long back. But what Shankara did was to put this experience into words. That was his great. And of course, we know the words are limited. Through the words, you have to communicate and convey a message. So that he has beautifully done by picking up these four Mahavakyas. The four Mahavakyas are Tattvamasi, and that's your team word, team sentence, Tattvamasi. I saw that, Tattvamasi. And that is the king of the Mahavakyas. Tattvamasi, Aham Brahmasmi, Ayam Atma Brahma, Prajnanam Brahma. These four Mahavakyas. Of these four Mahavakyas, the most important Mahavakya means is great proclamations. Yes, a proclamation, a statement which can uplift you. Uplift you from this material madness. It is spiritual plenitude. Just by that word. These days they talk about neuro-linguistic programming. A word can create a lot of change in you. Why a word, a look, a touch, all this can change you, lift you from this morass, this material madness, and put you into a heightened state of consciousness. So Shankaracharya uses the word very effectively, the sentences very effectively. So he has picked up this most vibrant and powerful statement from the Upanishad, which we find in the Chandogya Upanishad, in the conversation between Shataketu and Uddalaka. Uddalaka teaches Shataketu, his son, by this very beautiful statement. Esha anima edadatmimidam sarvam tas satyam sa atma tattvamasi Shataketu. 9 times he repeats this with the various stories. So here I am supposed to unpack this sentence. That is why Vaakya Vrutti. Vaakya means a sentence. Vrutti means a reflection, an analysis. So Tattvamasi has to be understood and experienced, not only just understood. When you hear that word, it should go deep into you. It should put fire in your soul. It should churn your mind, create a storm in your brain. That word that sentence is so powerful, packed with the meaning. The entire Vedic, the Upanishad literature can be condensed distilled into that statement, Tattvamasi. As long as we have Tattvamasi with us, we can conquer the whole world. That's such the power of that statement. But we must know, otherwise it is a lohe kachana. We can keep on chewing it, but nothing will come out of that. So it's very important. You must reflect with the help of a teacher and with a quiet mind. With an agitated mind, if you look at Tattvamasi, if I say you are that, Tattvamasi means you are that. And you look around, you see a donkey passing by, and you say, Swamiji, no, I'm not this donkey. I don't want to accept this. Because you don't have that focus, concentration, that commitment, that seriousness, that pain in your heart, that ache to know the truth is not there. So what is important is with that seriousness, Parishalogan, Karmajudan Brahmanaha, Nirvedamaya Nasti Kruta Krudena, Tad Vijnanartham Gurumeva Bhiteche, Samitpani Shrotriyam Brahmanista. So you must come with that seriousness. You tried with everything. You made money, you have power, you have all kind of pleasures in life. At the end of the day, you still feel miserable. It is at that state you understand what I am seeking cannot be gained my personal effort. I need some blessing. And you come to the Guru. And the Guru tells you Tattvamasi. My son, don't worry, whatever you seek in life. And what you ultimately seek in life is happiness, health, love. These are the three things. These are called end values. I want to be happy, I want to be healthy, and I want love. I want to love, I want to give love. At this point, I cannot give love because there is no love in me. Nobody loved me. Neither my parents, nor my gurus, nor my friends, nor my wife or husband, children loves me. Why? Because you don't love them. You get what you get. If you don't love, you don't get love. So ultimately, you have to discover love from yourself, and when you give it, you get it back. The world is your mirror. If you smile, the world will smile to you. If you frown, the world will frown to you. So what we fundamentally seek is health, happiness, and love. In fact, all these are the same thing. They are not different things. In Vedanta, we call samanadhikaranam. Love is health. Health is happiness. Happiness is health. Health is love. They are one the same thing. So what the Tattvamasi Mahavakya says, these three values, which we call God, Brahman, Ishvara. Ishvara is happiness. Ishvara cannot be unhappy. Ishvara is healthy. Ishvara cannot have attack of coronavirus. Coronavirus cannot attack Ishvara. He is healthy and is pure love, pure light. So these end values that we are seeking is not outside. You cannot harvest from the material world. You cannot scrape it out from the sensate world. It is already latent within yourself. You have to make it patent. You have to manifest it. We must have that belief. You must have a quantum leap. It's a leap of faith. So this Mahavakya says, these ultimate values that we are seeking is already within us. So we are seeking for something which is within us. That is the ignorance that we are talking about. We ignore ourselves and then we are out in the world. So you are lost your moorings, your roots. You are a rootless and therefore is a ruthless person now. Rootlessness makes you ruthless because we have forgotten ourselves. So Shankara says, look within. Develop that drisya viveka. These are all drishyam. What you see outside, externally, what you see inside, the inner theater of the mind, all these are drishyam. So by a process of Drigdrishya Viveka, developing Sakshi power, you will be able to transcend the material world. You will be able to transcend the mental world, including your ego. Ego is an object of your perception. You may say, I am very humble, but you know within that you are a very egoistic person. I'm not saying the egoism is bad. It has got its own value. So you can observe all this. So by a process of observation, mindfulness, watchfulness, reflectivity, contemplation, we are able to transcend the limitations of the world and the body, mind, and your intellect and your ego. And you can discover your innate self. That journey inward through a process of meditation. And you come to realize that thoughts and the world shine in your consciousness. So our inquiry is to be on this. The locus of your inquiry is I experience. I experience, which is constant in your life. All other experiences keep on changing. So keep on asking that question like Ramana. Aha, aham, who am I? Tastum, koham, kuda, aya, daha, kame, janani, kome, sada. Iti paribhavaya sarvam asaram vishwam tekva sapna vicharam. So by that process of inquiry, you will be able to come to realize your real nature, that happiness. So to put it simply, Tatvamasi means these three values, which we call values of divinity, God. These three values which you are seeking is andarnihidam, andaratma, it is all within you. So don't seek it, own it up and announce it and spread it in the world. The more you give it, the more you get it. The more you can tap from within yourself. So this is the meaning of Tattvamasi, but then this particular text called Vaakya Vrutti, one of the texts written by, supposedly written by Shankaracharya. The Vaakya Vrutti is Tada Tum Asi. This is the Vaakya. Vaakya means a sentence. Very powerful sentence. This sentence is made up of three words, padas. The word is Tada Tum Asi. Asi is a verb connecting Tada and Tum. Asi means you are. You are that. That's the word meaning, sentence meaning. Tada means that. Tum means you. Asi means are. You are that. And we have no clue what is that. We have some idea about who am I. The Tum word is more or less understood because that's part of your experience. But Tad word is only your dream, something which is very vast. So the Tad is explained in the Upanishad. The Upanishad says Tat is Satchidanandam Brahma. That is the Tat, the meaning of the word. Sada Chida Anandam Brahma. It can also mean Ishvara. Sarvavyapi, Sarvajnaha, Sarvashaktiman, Ishvara. So Tada has got two meanings. The Saguna Brahma and Nirguna Brahma. But for your understanding, I would say Tada means whatever you are seeking. And you are not able to express it. The Upanishads has to come and tell you that. Because we are not able to put it in words. We don't know what are we seeking. The only thing we know that I am not happy with anything. I married, I had children, I have a job, I have money in the bank, I have name, fame, but still I feel a wretched, miserable tucha. When I am alone, I am insecure, I am unhappy. Every day I look into a bank statement and I am crying. I have all this money in the bank, but nothing is of help to me. So this is our state now. So we don't know what are we seeking. We are not able to put words to that. We are not able to describe that. But the Upanishad comes to your aid. Upanishad says, what you are seeking is indeed happiness, Sadanandam. Not just kadachitkanandam, little bit of happiness which you scrape up from here and there. That's not the real happiness. You are seeking that infinite happiness, Sadanandam, Advayanandam, Niradishayanandam. That's the joy that you are seeking, but I don't know where it is. So the Upanishad defines our goal. We ourselves are not able to define it. We only know unconsciously that we are seeking something, that we are not happy with any of those things. So that the Upanishad says, Brahma, Aupanishadam Brahma. And the Upanishad says, Brahman is the boundless. It has no boundary. It is Satantra. And that is what we are seeking. We feel suffocated now. We feel hemmed in now. We feel bound now. We feel dukhi. Dukhi means one who operates in a limited space. Do limited, come in space. We are operating in a limited circle now. Punarabi Janaram, Punarabi Maranam, Punarabi Janni, Jadare Shayanam. That's what we are doing now. From pillar to post. You keep on moving as a beggar. So the Upanishad says, you don't have to live in this dukkha space. You can live in a sukha space. Su means plenty. So we have to expand our space. So Brahman means limitless space, sukham, happiness. When you are happy, then you can integrate with everything. When you're happy, you can integrate, you can accommodate. You're happy with everybody. You invite everybody. You give them party because you are happy. If you're unhappy, you take the phone off the hook and say, you don't want to. Leave me alone. I don't want to talk to you. So the Upanishad defines our goal, that you are seeking happiness, boundless happiness. You need that space where you can fly and expand and integrate everything. Upanishadam Brahma. That Brahman that you are seeking, Kumasi, you are that. My God, I never thought this. I am this Brahman. How can I be Brahman? So there we need a Vaakya Vrutti. We need some reflection. Because we don't dare to contradict the Upanishad statement. Because Upanishad is Pramanam for us. So Shankaracharya says, Upanishadam Pramana. Upanishad is Pramana. Sadhana Yadushtya Sambannadhikarina Moksha Sadhana Bhudam Tattva Vivega Prakaram Bhatshyama. So just as to see the world, you use your sense organs as the Pramana. Whatever you cannot see, you can infer. Inference as the Pramana. To know your real nature, you need a Pramana. We know, whatever we know about ourselves is a limited self. That we know. I am limited. I am the son of so and so. I am employed there. And I have so much money in the bank. This much you know. So your present self is woven out of what you have. But you are more than what you have and what you don't have. So I must know. To know myself, I need a pramana. I need a way of knowing. I need a new language to understand myself, not the present language. And hence, when the Upanishad says you are that, I don't dispute that statement because it stirs something in me. It appeals deeply to me. So I don't want to give it up, though I don't understand it. So now, first time I realize I am ignorant of myself. From the Upanishad standpoint, I ignored something about me in my materialistic preoccupation, in my mad race for power and money and pleasure. I have ignored something which is native to me, which is my nature. So you believe in the Upanishad statement because you are not go anyway. And that Upanishad statement, Tattvamasi, become a pramana for you. So now you want to know, who am I? If I am Brahman, who am I? Where is that? What is the locus? So the Upanishad prescribed Nedi Nedi Sampradayam. Nedi Nedi Sampradayam means I am not this. Am I my possessions? I am not. Am I the body? I am not. Because these are all objects like Gadavada, like I see a pot. So you have to increasingly objectify the mental world and the material world and the egoistic world experiences. And then you come to a state, I am beyond even time, space. Because time, space are objects of my awareness. And I am an awareful entity, that much I know. I am conscious of this. I am not jada, that much I know. I am a conscious entity. So that experience is being inquired into. So your attention turns towards that. And finally, through this process of negation, objectifying, watchfulness, you come to realize you are beyond the time space, you are beyond the causation, you are beyond these dualities and binaries. I am that pure consciousness. Chidananda Rupa, Shivoham, Shivoham. That realization you get. So that tada, that word, is to be analyzed. From, of course, what is said in the Upanishad, and Upanishad describes it in various words. Satchidanandam, Satyam Jnanam Anandam Brahma, Prajnanam Brahma, all those things. The Upanishad defines that. And that's what I want to be. But this I did not know. That is my nature. I was not aware of that. I have been seeking for it outside. So through a process of discrimination and discernment and detachment, and finally I come upon myself. When I come upon myself, I cannot objectify myself. I cannot describe myself. I can only deeply experience myself. No description is possible. And that state I become supremely silent. That's why the meditative experience. Because there is no duality. There is no tripartite experience. Experiencer, experiencing these things are not there. So deep down. And hence Shankaracharya in his Dakshinamurti Sutram says, Mauna Vaakya Pragatita Para Brahma Tattvam Yuvanam Shistande Vasashriganir Abrutam Brahmanishte Acharyandram Karagalida Jinmatramananda Rupam Swatmaramam Mujitavadanam Dakshinamurti Mide. I become very, very silent. Thereafter, my words, my thoughts, my intentions all spring from that silence. It is an expression of that silence, that bliss. Whenever you are blissful, you are silent. Duality ends there. It is only when you are unhappy, you try to find out who is making you unhappy. Then the whole world is against you. The world stands apart from you. When you're a happy person, when you're operating that infinite space, everything is integrated there. You create win-win situations. You play positive sum game. You integrate everyone. You become a universal person. Everything is seen as your own expression. So, what to understand Tattvamasi, not only you should know the word meaning, dictionary meaning, and most of the scholars are caught up in the dictionary meaning. Other means what? You. Other means what? That. Tom means this. But we are not going into the deeper meaning. So in Sanskritam, especially in Vedanta literature, we are trying to analyze the language. How can you put ideas, visions into language? Vision is deeper than ideas. A deep experience. How do you put it into language? How do I put my toothache into language? How do I put my hunger into language? How do I put my love for my beloved or my child into language? Language is a poor vehicle of communicating deeper feelings. But our acharyas tried it. It is not only Wittgenstein only who said language is limited. Very few things are conveyed through language. Our rishis knew it long, long before. Yado vajo nivartande aprahapya manasa saha. Deeper experience, very difficult to convey it in terms of mathematics or reason and language and ideas and concept. Deeper experience is difficult to communicate. But still we are trying. We are trying to communicate that language. So Tattvamasi means you are that right now. Not that you were that, now you lost it. Not that you will become that, you have to strive for it. No. You have to relax, and you relax. When you sit quiet, you take a deep breath, quieten your mind, then you'll collapse into that truth. The truth will seductively attract you into its center. You have to only relax. So Tadattvamasi has got a word meaning and a sentence meaning. Word meaning is you, that, you are that. And some people say, no, you are not that. Tattvamasi does not mean Tattvamasi. Atattvamasi. You are not that. Sanskrit language allows that. Some people say Tasyattvamasi. You are not that, you are only a part of that. But Shankara is bold enough to say, you are that right now. And it requires no effort. Effortlessly, right now, you are that. Own up your response, your identity. Stand up. Uttishtada, Jagrata. Wake up, stand up, and realize this. So it's not that you will become that or you were that, you lost it. You are that right now. So the sentence meaning sometimes create confusion in you. How can I be that happiness? How can I be one with God? So here Vaakya Vrutti becomes important. So at this point, your idea about yourself is an embodied consciousness. Consciousness conditioned by your body, mind, and ego. That's what you understand. This is called a mixing up. Consciousness get mixed up. Body, mind, ego. This body, mind, ego is made up of Panchabhutas. Panchabhutas are Trigunas. Trigunas are nothing but Maya. Maya is nothing but the power of Brahman. All those things are there. So this body, mind, the ego complex is part of the material world. It is an instrument of Brahman to explore and express his potential. So at this point, when you say Tum, it is a embodied consciousness. And when you say Tada, consciousness conditioned by the entire universe. That's the meaning of Tada, literal meaning. Ishvara. Consciousness conditioned by Karyakarana Sanghadam, Samashti Karyakarana Sanghadam. So let me put it Samashti. Consciousness conditioned by the Samashti is Tada. Consciousness conditioned by the Veshti is To. Now, according to Shankaracharya, the Veshti and the Samashti are only costumes, ubadis, instruments through which you operate. For example, when you drive a cycle, then you become a cyclist. When you drive a car or an airplane, then you are a different person. The same person using a cycle and the same person can use a car, and the speed is different. Your identity is different. But you are the same person. Minus cycle, minus car, you are the same person. Tattvamasi. So Tada, the cycle conditioned you, Tum, that car conditioned you, are the same person. Isn't it? So the word meaning of Tum is Karyakarana Sanghada Vachinna Veshti Karyakarana Sanghada Vachinna. Tum meaning is Samashti Karyakarana Sanghada. This Karyakarana Sanghada, whether it is Veshti or Samashti, all are made up of Trigunas. Therefore, Shankaracharya says it is a zero. It has no value. It has a value with reference to number one, consciousness. So whether you say 1 plus 0 Or whether you say 1 plus 0 to the power of n, the final product is the same. So I can put this 1 plus 0 is the Tum, 1 plus 0 to the power of n is other, and finally you can say 1 plus 0 is equal to C, 1 plus 0 to the power of n. Or let me put it another way. I have a 100 rupee note and you had a 1,000 rupee note. And then one morning, Modi comes and demonetizes everything. When I had 100 rupee, I was 100 rupee, one was 100 rupee, and I define myself according to what I have. And another person who had 1,000 rupees, he defines himself by what he has, 1,000 rupees. And he is superior, I am inferior. I am subordinate, he is superordinate. But when you demonetize all this, what Shankara did was demonetizing the world. So much importance you are giving to the world. Shankara demonetized, Shankara mithyavalkaranam. What you have, whether it is a limited or limitless, these are all mithya. So seeing the world as mithya, seeing these ubadhis are mithya, you will be able to focus on the unlimited consciousness. So tada and kum, these two words have their word meaning and their sentence meaning and their implied meaning. They are called lekshyartham. Not just padartham or vachyartham, but lekshyartham. This requires an ability to read between the lines. This requires some quiet mind. Otherwise, you'll read only the sentences. You consult the dictionary and you become a scholar, a poor, miserable scholar. That's all what you become without the experience of that. So to understand the implied meaning, let me give you some example. In the Sanskrit sentences, let's say, Hey Ram, Dandena Gam Anaya. Or Rama, take the stick and bring the cows home. There each word indicate different objects. For example, Rama, that individual, Danda, a stick, Gam, cow, Anaya, bring. So you have to hear all the words to make some sense. If I say Rama, Rama is alert. Dandena, I give him a stick. Gam, Anaya. When all the words are heard together in their sangati, in their proximity, they make sense to you, isn't it? That is one way of analyzing a sentence. Then there are situations where we say, Mahad Sugandhi Neelam Utpalam, a big, fragrant, blue lotus. Here, these words are qualifying each other. Lotus is the main object. Merely saying lotus is not enough. I have to say big lotus, then fragrant lotus, then blue lotus. Then you can identify the lotus. This is called Visheshana Bandhas, qualifying relationship. But here in this sentence, Tattvamasi, it is not a Visheshana relationship, nor a Sangati relationship. It is Samanadhikaranam. Other and Tum, devoid of their costumes, they indicate the same thing. This is called Lakshanaya, by the Lakshana, by the indicative meaning. You understand the true purpose, the purport of this statement. So thus, we come to the realization that we are that infinite Atman. Not only I am that infinite Atman, Tattvamasi, Aham Brahmasmi. And when you realize Aham Brahmasmi, this is my real nature. My nature is infinite bliss. I am pure consciousness. The rest of your life, once you realize that, your whole life should be to share that joy. because you are welling up with that joy. You are in a different space altogether. So thereafter, your life becomes a self-giving enterprise instead of a self-aggrandizing enterprise. Earlier, you are a poor man, miserable person, begging of the world, begging from everyone. Now you are a master. You are ready to give and share. So thereafter, all the choices you make while you are interacting with the world, all those choices become channels of exploring, expressing your potential, your infinite joy. You become a self-giving person rather than a self-aggrandizing person. Because you are so much. You are the richest by yourself. So, yoga sangrahartam. Thereafter, you live for the well-being of the world. You think of common good. You think of the well-being of all. That is why Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. So we have to settle this problem within ourselves. Our health, our happiness, the love that you are seeking, you cannot get it from outside. You have to invoke it from within yourself, and you become responsible. You become a true agent, a true free individual. I am on my own now, and I can take care of my life. I'm ready to give and share. The more I share, the more I discover myself. The more I possess, the more I cover myself. So your life radically shift from the dukhi aham attitude to sukhi aham attitude. You are a totally transformed person as a result of this relentless meditation upon this great statement. And you undergo a neuro-linguistic transformation, as they say. Thereafter, you don't seek, you become the Siddha. That is the meaning of Tumasi. And this, very briefly, Shankaracharya describes in his Vaakya Vrutti, Lakhu Vaakya Vrutti. There are two texts, Vaakya Vrutti and Lakhu Vaakya Vrutti. So spread this message to the whole world that you are the source of all values. Go deep within yourself. Don't live in the superficial level. Go deep. Discover your own dimensionalities through a process of watchfulness. Lead a reflective life rather than a reactive life. So that's the message. Patumasi, thank you very much. Hari Om.
Thank you so much, Swamiji. That was such an empowering talk. Just totally loved it. And also all what Swamiji said about matter not mattering at all. And also about demonetization, how Shankaracharya ji was the first person to demonetize everybody. If Swamiji could please elaborate on, this is from my end, since I don't see other questions at the moment. Swamiji had mentioned how for Hindus, especially Advaitins, let's say, this period of lockdown is not such a problem, and how it's probably an opportunity, or we can see it in a much more positive way. Could Swamiji please elaborate for all of us out here about that?
You see, we were coming to a state of breakdown. The world is going at great speed, and so we did not have the time to pause and reflect and meditate because everybody is running, everybody is in the rat race. As a result of that, we are coming to a point of breakdown, not as an individual, but as family, as a community, as an organization, as countries, as whole humanity. So this is a God-sent opportunity for us to pause, to reflect, to go deep. And that's why it is this pandemic is not a pandemic only, it's a promise also. It's a promise. It's a promise. Before we break down, we have to take a break. That is what is happening. I think it's a nature's trick, nature's because the compassionate Mother Nature is asking you, take a break, reflect. Now they are talking about degrowth because all the everybody thinking of 4%, 5% annual growth, GDP growth, and there is GDP, but where is human well-being? Where is equality? Where is freedom? Where is justice? Where is humanity? So measuring progress just by the GDP is not healthy. It is time for you. Now they are talking about degrowthing, not continuous progress. So this progress we are come to a brink now. Next step is to the abyss. Environmental problem, inequality problem, isn't it? Nation fighting each other for scarce resources. So that situation has to come to an end. This pandemic has given us an opportunity that, and also we understand our weaknesses now, our limitations. We have been preparing ourselves to fight our enemies with the weapons of mass destruction, intercontinental ballistic missiles, blah, blah, all this. But where is the enemy? The enemy is vanishingly small. You cannot even identify your enemy. So this pandemic has given us an opportunity to reflect, to come together, to identify our global issues, and to make us think as humanity, not as Americans or Indians and all that. So it has given us an opportunity. So I think it is let us see some silver lining in this gathering dark clouds. That is what human spirit is all about.
Yes,
So don't get worried.
Sure.
Don't worry. Every crisis has got an opportunity. It's an opportunity for self-discovery and self-expression.
Swamiji, there's a question.
Thank you very much.
Swamiji, there are two questions. If Swamiji has time, may I ask?
Yeah, I have no problem. Yeah, I have time. Please.
Swamiji, can you please explain on the cyclist versus aeroplane dichotomy of the two terms? I lost connection, one person is saying.
Yeah, what I said was the same individual, we define ourselves with what we have. If I have a cycle, I am a small person. You have a BMW, I am a big person. The big BMW, I can travel faster. Cycle, I go slow. So most of the time, we define ourselves by what we have. And we are defining ourselves by this instrument, body, mind, ego complex. So body, mind, ego complex is only an instrument for you. And another person has got his body, mind, ego complex. We are using our own instrument, isn't it? So don't define yourself by the instrument that you have. Use your instrument. Isn't it? For an expert person, even a blade of grass is a weapon. Otherwise, even if you have a BM intercontinental ballistic missile, you don't know how to use it. So it is how you use the instrument at your disposal which makes you great. Don't complain about your instruments, isn't it? A wise leader wouldn't complain about their people. They make use of the people.
Right.
A wise craftsman will not complain about his tools. He make use of the tools.
Yes, sir.
So don't define yourself to what you have. That is what creates jealousy. And the Ishavasim says, Ma Gruda, don't covet somebody's wealth. Use your wealth. Your wealth is unique. You cannot be replaced. You have your own wealth. Use that and become a worthy citizen in this world by making your unique contribution. A good barber is better than a bad brain surgeon, isn't it? A good barber is better than a bad brain surgeon. So similarly, whatever equipment, that's what I said. Don't define yourself by what you have. Define yourself by what you are. And what you are is that infinite consciousness.
Yes, Swamiji.
Is it clear?
Yes, Swamiji.
Yes.
Another question was word meaning, sentence meaning, that is Vachartha, Lakshyartha. What is the third one? Can you please explain it? The Sanskrit.
Third one is Lakshyartha. Lakshyartha, an implied meaning, reading between the lines. So when I say, I will kill you, I will kill you. Depend upon who is telling you. If that word is uttered by, sentence uttered by your beloved, you will say, kill me. I don't mind. But if it is said by your husband, my God, it creates a problem, isn't it? So the same word can give different meaning to different people. That is the Likshartham, the implied meaning. So go for the Likshartham, not just for the word meaning, not just for the dictionary meaning. Then you become a Pandita, but you don't become an experienced wise person. For that, you must be able to go behind the meaning. Most of the words are very poor communicators. You use a word this way, that way, it is a double-edged weapon. So it all means with what intention you are using it, what are you communicating, what energy that you're transferring by that word.
Yes.
That's what I meant, implied meaning. So always see what is the feeling behind the word. Who is speaking behind? That also is very, very important.
Yes.
Because word is like an instrument. It's like let us say, a knife. You can cut it, you can use it for different purposes. So therefore, don't just hang on to the word. See the feeling behind it. See the person behind it. Then address. That's what I meant.
Thank you, Swamiji. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you very
Very,
much.
very grateful that you could be here
Okay.
with us and share with us all your wisdom. Thank you so much, Swamiji.
Thank you very much.
Shri